Welcome back to Unfiltered. Folks, the surveillance state, it's getting worse. It's moving full steam ahead. The FBI is reportedly dishing out $27 million to use BabelX. What the hell is BabelX? Well, it's tracking software to spy on your social media posts. The Bureau claims their goal is to identify possible threats and predict where crimes could happen. What could possibly go wrong with that? Joining me now is FBI whistleblower Kyle Seraphin. Kyle, thanks for spending some time with us again. I appreciate it. What is BabelX, Kyle, and what's the potential for abuse here by the FBI?
Thanks for having me back on, Dan. BabelX is a social media exploitation tool, or what the Bureau calls SOMEX, since they love acronyms so much. And the tool is used to crawl across multiple platforms of social media, and when used properly, it's an appropriate law enforcement tool. It can be used very narrowly, very specific keywords and very specific geographic areas, and so then you end up with a very appropriate tool. But if that is expanded, it has some very questionable constitutional issues that come up, specifically your First Amendment right to free speech and whether the government should be monitoring it.
Yeah, I mean, really, if they're trolling our social media and surveilling our social media for election misinformation, Kyle, it's kind of discretionary what they categorize as misinformation. I mean, they totally missed the Hunter Biden laptop story. It was actually classified as disinformation, even though it was real. So are rank and file agents worried about the Bureau's kind of marriage to big tech to crack down on misinformation and election crimes? This sounds like this could be real trouble.
Well, the concern is why it's public, obviously. That's why you have whistleblowers coming forward with this kind of information. That's why it's being discussed. When the FBI lists on a list of, 8 different potential election crimes, something like misinformation or disinformation, which are not explicit crimes, they're only really criminal if they are part of one of the other crimes that are listed on that list. So they're just not the thing that is the purview of the FBI. They should be explicitly avoided for First Amendment considerations. So you hit the nail on the head. Rank and file agents, people on the front lines, they're concerned that this could be abused, and it's not going to be abused in every field office. And that's the real story, I think, is that it has potential of being abused only in specific areas where management is willing to sign off on broader searches than is appropriate.
I mean, I got about a minute left, Kyle, but what's to stop, say, an FBI agent who, isn't really concerned about his duty and is more concerned about left-wing politics from just opening up an intelligence case on a social media account they don't like for conservative or pro-life ideas and classifying it as misinformation?
So I've heard people get into that discussion. If someone is following Alex Jones or, wants to send his messages out on their website, and that's something that's worth looking into. It doesn't take much more than that and one other data point for the FBI to take a look at you. So, hopefully scruples, their belief that they're going to stick with their oath, that's really where we're at. I mean, that's the final line right there.
Kyle Seraphin, thanks for speaking out to your fellow whistleblowers for doing the right thing. I knew you guys were out there. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Thank you.